Okay, so if law of sines, you use law of sines when you have side-side angle, angle-side angle, or angle-angle-side. Okay, using this proportion, if we know that you're given this angle x, the side opposite is side x. Okay, this angle y, the side opposite is side y. And then this angle z, the side opposite is z. Okay, so given those, can I cover these two up? Not yet? Hold up for a minute. Okay. So if we just focus in on this one, which two ratios of these three, which two of the three would we use to solve this triangle? Okay. Yeah, Ian? Okay. How come? Good. Yeah, we know angle x, it's 95. So we could replace this x with 95. And we know side x is 125, so we could replace that x with 125. Okay? And which of these two are we going to use? Y or z? Y. Yeah, we're trying to find angle y, and we know side y. So using side y is 85, we put angle y right here, and we solve. Okay, so really, now it's a bit of a mess. We go and write it out like that. How do we solve a proportion? Cross multiply, yeah. So we cross multiply. Go ahead and write down what equation you would get there. So 85 sine 95 equals 125 sine y. All right. What's our next step there? Yes, Sam? We don't want to calculate that yet. It's going to give you a big decimal answer. Get sine y by itself. How do you do that? Good. You divide over that 125, yeah. So I'm going to rewrite it up here. That's going to give me 85 sine 95 over 125 equals sine y. How do I get y by itself? Inverse sine. Yeah. Of all that junk there. This is the thing you want to put into your calculator. Okay. So when everyone input it in there, make sure you're in degree mode. Okay, so we should get y equals 42.6. Yeah, rounding to the nearest tenth. 42.6 degrees. Okay. So, we know what that side is, or that angle is. What's the other one we can find real easy right now? Angle Z, yeah. How do we do that? Good, yeah. Triangle angle sum theorem, right? So we say 180 minus the 95 we already know, minus the 42.6 we already know. That's going to equal the measure of angle Z. Okay. So in this case, that equals 42.4. Thank you. All right. 42.4. All right. We have one piece left. That is side Z. Now this is a rounded value. However, this is one case where we're going to use that rounded value. It's just a much easier piece to put in. All right. If we didn't use that rounded value to find Z, we'd actually have to take this whole thing as our input for this piece right here. So if you're not going to round that off, you would actually rather than calculating this out, you'd have to put that in for that, and then this whole thing in for angle Z, which is just a real pain. So we're going to use the rounded value of 42.4 for Z. Okay, so right now I want you to calculate what side Z is using the law of sines. Okay? All right, you can go ahead and tell your neighbor what you got there. How many got a number between 60 and 100? How many got a number between 50 and 60? 60 and 70? 70 and 80? 80 and 90? Uh-oh. How many don't have a number? Oh, I'll let you finish. Finish it up. I want you to get a number. What's that? The picture?
Yeah.
Try to focus it a little better. All right, I'm going to put up my steps. We're focusing over here. Sine x equals sine x over x, sine z over z. So you get sine 95 over 125 and sine 42.4 over z. Cross multiply gives you z sine 95, which equals 125 sine 42.4. And then take that, divide by sine 95, we get 84.6. How many got it? How many figured out where they made their mistake? Okay, what kind of questions we got right now? All right, tell your neighbor where you made your mistake if you made a mistake. Okay, questions on that? Hey guys, I'm not going to go through these other two right now. However, you have the triangles. If you want to put more practice in, you can. I will hang up the answers for them. In fact, I'll put them up at the end of class for those two triangles if you want to see how to solve those triangles. Okay? You're going to have time to practice that stuff here in a few minutes. I want you to take a look at your student journal real quick, page 274. Actually, 275, excuse me. 275. Should look like that. Kind of summarizes what we went through yesterday and today in terms of law of sines and law of cosines. Okay? The only other thing that we have not done yet when dealing with the trig functions that is kind of important for us to do is to find the area of a triangle when we don't necessarily know its height. Okay? So if you take a look at page 276, 276, number 4 and number 5 there, it says find the area of the triangle, round your answer to the nearest tenth. All right, I want you to talk with your groupies there on how you could do that. How could you find the area of that triangle? Start with number 4. If you get that to focus, it'll be hard. Hey, what's the formula for area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2, or area is equal to, we could say 1/2 base times height as well, right? Okay, so do we know the base? Well, this could be a base, right? Any side could be a base. Okay, so we could technically say that this is our base. However, we would need to know our height then, right? Okay, and a height would actually go down from one side and then intersect another side, or intersect that base at a right angle, or go from one angle and intersect at a right angle. Or if we're dealing with this triangle on number 5, we could say that this is our base. And then our height would intersect that base at a right angle. It'd actually be outside here. Or if we said that this was our base, we'd have to say, well, our height would intersect at a right angle. Okay, it would maybe come down from that angle and hit right there. The only problem is that, like, if we said that this is the base here, we need to know this in order to solve. How could we find this, given the information we have? We could use SOHCAHTOA. Yeah.
Just find the area, find the side length of the smaller triangle inside of the thing.
Okay, we could find that. Talk with your neighbor how you're going to find H. Like, and you can't just say SOHCAHTOA. You got to come up with a way using SOHCAHTOA. Okay, what could we use? Yeah.
Law of cosine versus sine equals sine.
Okay. Rather than using law of cosines, that law of cosines is going to give us an angle and a side. It's going to give us on the outside. We want to find something that's in the inside here. So you're really just focusing in on this triangle right now. Maddie?
Could we use the right triangle similarity?
Right triangle similarity would, that would be a little tougher on this one. Yep. Yeah.
Is it like the side of 24 times like 19 or something? I forgot how. Divided by 19. Something.
So sine 24 is going to give us our opposite side, which is h, over the hypotenuse, which is 19.
Wait, was I right?
You guys think? Can we find h using that? Yeah, we can go 19 sine 24 is equal to the height. Okay? Yeah. So if we're focusing on this triangle right here, right? So when we're dealing with sine, that's 20. The sine of this angle is equal to the opposite side over the hypotenuse.
Oh, yeah.
So the opposite side in this case, unfortunately, we're calling it h, which we usually call hypotenuse, but it's opposite over hypotenuse. So h over 19. Okay, what is h? Okay, so we get this rounded number. So rather than rounding it, because we don't want a decimal form, we're going to leave it in its exact form. And that becomes the height of our equation. Area equals base times height times 1/2. Well, here's the height. We've replaced h with this. What's our base? It's not 19. It's 22. It's what hits at a right angle. Make sure we're clear on that. The base is 22. You've just come up with your formula for finding the area of a triangle when you know side angle side. Okay? There we got it, man. We're not done. We've got to actually calculate it now because it says round to the nearest 10. So what does that equal?
85.
85 exactly?
No.
Okay. But 85 rounded. Yeah, square units.
Isn't it like... Wait, what's that? Oh, we'll
So-
find the area.
So, you guys, if you know the pattern here, and we look at this, when we're finding area, 1/2, 22 times 19 times sine 24, how can you put that together to do this triangle? Try to come up with a general rule. Area is equal to, what pieces did you use? Talk with your group about it there. What pieces did you use and how did you put things together? See if it would work on this one. Here's your hint. Here's my height. What's my base then? Oh. What's my base? 14. Okay, we have to have our 1/2 still out there. 1/2 base. So 1/2 times 14. Let's rewrite that. What's our height? Hypotenuse. Okay, so we get sine of 79 is equal to, what's our opposite? H over over 9. Okay, so the height is equal to KJ? This is because we're doing sine is opposite over hypotenuse. This is our hypotenuse. So this is our height, not our hypotenuse. Okay? Yeah, this was our, there we go. We'll call it height. Okay? Height, yeah?
No, I was just going to ask you, in the case of side angle side.
Okay, can we hold off on a question until we get this? Go ahead. 9 sine 79. Okay, so the height is equal to 9 sine 79. Okay, what's the area? 61.8. Yeah? Sorry, square units. Okay, there's a pattern here, and it's much easier. You guys figure out the easy way to go about doing this. Okay, take a look at it, talk about it. You guys, the pattern, it's on the previous page, but it's really helpful if you come up with it on your own. It's actually on page 274. Okay, that is your pattern. Area of any triangle is given by 1/2 the product of the lengths of the two sides times the sine of their included angle. So if you know any triangle and an included angle, you can find the area. So for instance, if I know side B and C and angle A, I can use 1/2 B times C sine A. If I know angle or side A and side C and angle B, I could use 1/2 A times C sine B. If I know angle C and side A and B, I can use 1/2 AB times sine C. Okay, most of you came, or the handful of you that talked to me came up with that on your own. That's good. Okay, those are the shortcuts you want to fall into and be able to use. All right, the reason it works is because of the work we did here. Any questions? Your assignment, you have 1 through 13, practice B. That'd be cool. Or no, practice. Is it practice B? I hope I get the wrong one. We're right. All right. For those of you that did those other two problems on the bottom of the last one, there's the work for it. I'll leave it up there for you. It is a lot of work if you wanted more practice on law of sines, but there it is. It says sine 93 over there on the right.
Stuff like